Hey YouTube, Olivewood Piper here, coming to you from Carlo's place. First, some housekeeping. Smoking my Aldo Villani. I guess that's a bent bulldog or Rhodesian. And in it, Gatsby's Luxury Flake. And of course, I've got my trusty iced coffee. So, the other day, I was reading about all this hype over the recent boxing match. And I'm not a fan of boxing, but it was kind of interesting just to see what it's become. I mean, it's sort of like a circus. But anyway, so I'm driving my car, and all of a sudden this thought comes into my head about boxing. And then I thought about a related subject, and there was a correlation between boxing and my first romance. No, I wasn't boxing with the girl, but when I was about 15, I went to my cousin's house in Long Island for about 2 weeks. Living in Brooklyn, going to Long Island was like paradise. It was like being at a resort. We were near the beach. We'd go to the beach. We'd go clamming. We'd go fishing. We'd go swimming. It was great. So, about the second day I'm there, my cousin and his girlfriend introduced me to this girl, his girlfriend's friend. I thought it was pretty cool. You know, she was a very pretty girl, very nice person. And we hit it off really well. So we hung out every day. In fact, my cousin and I decided we were going to build a tree house across the street in the woods. And we built this tree house. The only problem is this was in the summer. It was hotter than anything, and we'd get in that tree house and just sweat like anything. But we would go up there with the two girls and hang out in the tree house. And my aunt would always say, "What are you guys doing? You know, it's so hot outside." And obviously, we weren't about to go into details, but anyway. So there was another guy. Actually, there was a couple other kids in the neighborhood around our age. There was this other guy, and we'll call him Joe, because I don't want to use his real name. But nice enough guy, you know. And the tall guy, almost 6 foot tall, lanky. You know, I was all of 5'6". So, anyway, one day we're hanging around and looking for something to do, and somebody says, "Hey, let's box." And I think it was that guy Joe. And I thought, box? I haven't done that in a long time. I don't know. I said, "Well, what, do you have gloves?" "Oh yeah, I got 2 sets of gloves." I said, "All right. Should be interesting. I guess, you know, there was a bunch of us. We could box each other. No big deal." So he goes in the house to get the gloves. While he's in the house, my cousin imparts the wisdom on me that this guy is the girl I'm seeing former boyfriend. All of a sudden he wants a box. I'm no dummy. I made the correlation very quickly. So I'm thinking to myself, this is not going to be pretty. This guy's got height over me. He's got arm reach over me. I mean, any fights I used to get into in Brooklyn were fist fights. You know, it was street fight. We didn't do gloves or anything like that. And sometimes I got the crap beat out of me, and sometimes I beat the crap out of somebody else. But that's the way it was. So anyway, he comes out with the gloves. Naturally, the first person he wants to fight is me. All right. Put the gloves on. He starts beating the hell out of me. I mean, lefts, rights. I can't even get a punch in. I can't get close to him because he's so lanky, so tall. So I decided there's only way to do this. Charge him and just go in there throwing punches and haymakers. That's what I did. And fortunately, I got a good punch into his solar plexus. He bent over, then I cracked him with a right, and he went down, and I jumped on him, and I just started beating him on the ground. My cousin pulled me off. Well, what's wrong with you? I said, what's wrong with me? I'm getting a beating. You know, I mean, ultimately, you have to defend yourself. So, anyway, needless to say, I still spent the next, I guess, the week and a half with that girl, and we go to the beach, and you know, it was a typical summer romance. It was great. It was the first girl I'd ever really gone out with, but after the 2 weeks, it was time for me to go back home, and it was kind of bittersweet because I knew I wasn't going to see her often, and it pretty much ended. Until 10 years later, I'm at my cousin's house for a birthday party or something. And who comes up the street but that girl? And now we're like in our mid-20s. And she comes over, comes into my cousin's backyard, you know, and we start talking and we say hello, and the poor girl just looked beat up. I mean, she looked older than her 24 or 25 years. And I come to find out she ultimately married that guy who was her former boyfriend. He was in the Air Force, and I guess they lived out of the country for a while, and domestic bliss was not necessarily all it was supposed to be, and ultimately they divorced. I think she had 1 or 2 kids. It was kind of sad. She was a real sweet girl, and unfortunately, as we move on and we get older, the only thing we can count on is change, and we just hope it's good change. But I just thought I'd share that with you since I was thinking of the fight the other night. I end up thinking about my own fight. But before I end, I just want to say my thoughts and prayers are with all of you in Texas. That hurricane has been devastating. It breaks your heart to watch what you see on TV. So keep those people in your prayers and your thoughts. And as always, I only wish you health and happiness to you and yours. Thanks for watching very much.